Annie Putuguk was born on May 11, 1969 in Kingite. The Inuktitut name for Cape Dorset meaning high mountain, a small remote hamlet on the southwest tip of Baffin Island in Nunavut. Annie began drawing in 1997 and is a member of an extraordinary artistic family. Annie expresses a wide range of content and emotions. She drew intimate home interior scenes depicting alcoholism, violence, and domestic abuse, the everyday experiences of women living in the Canadian North, the hardships faced by northern communities, and the impact of technology in the traditional Inuit life. She created over 1,000 works on paper, and it was during this time that she began to be recognized as an artist outside the Inuit community. Annie's work has been represented in several commercial exhibitions since 2002. Her drawings are in the collections of the National Gallery of Canada, the Art Gallery of Toronto, and several other notable institutions. Annie was found dead on the shores of Rideau River in Ottawa on September 19, 2016.
Annie was standing here when she was found in the river. The systematic racism started already. The systematic injustice started already. When the police came out publicly, they stated that there was no suspicion and that it was not a murder case.
Shortly after Annie's body was found, a comment on social media was made from police officer Sergeant Chris Hernshire.
I looked at those comments and was very disturbed by them. I found them offensive and totally inappropriate. The comments are racist. They don't reflect the values of the Ottawa Police Service.
It really almost brings me to tears when I think back about it. You know, you think you're in a dark time, but you know, out of darkness can come good things. The challenge for me and the triumph for me was to make those things proper and do things that I could as a citizen and as an officer to correct those things.
Sergeant Chris Hernshire has been working with the Ottawa Police's Diversity and Race Relations Unit to go beyond the basic sensitivity training that was mandated. Chris Hernshire says he's worked hard to educate himself and earn forgiveness. The backlash Sergeant Chris Hernshire faced after making those comments was replaced by a journey of education and reconciliation.
Well, an Ottawa police officer canoed up the Rideau Canal today in a life-changing voyage to self-discovery. Sergeant Chris Hernshire last year pleaded guilty to making racist comments about an Inuk artist. Today, he paddled with Annie Putuguk's kids.
Today you're going to go out and we're going to paddle.
And what would Annie say about all this?
I hope she would embrace the idea that people who had nothing very much in common came together to make things better for Indigenous people. You know, he didn't shrug it off and just turn his back on a responsibility and faced up to it.
It really does send a message to all of us that there is an opportunity for forgiveness and a willing to learn, to change our behavior, and to be better people.
Because this is what Flotilla is all about, is bringing unlikely partners together. And just the idea of Chris and Belden and Annie's kids together in the canoe, it just, I don't know, it's so symbolic and it's so right and it feels so healing, and we all needed to heal from this.
Since, Sergeant Chris Hernshire has made significant efforts to the Indigenous community.
Very emotional day for me. Yeah, and I guess, you know, even in tragedy, you know, she had a lot of successes. People like me understanding more about, you know, struggles of the past and whatnot, you know, with Inuit people or Indigenous people in general will help. Not only as a police officer, but as a citizen, just as a human being. We all owe that to everybody in our country. We're all living in the same country, so.
Chris has become an ambassador for the Inuit community. He built an Inukshuk at his home church to pass the message of safety, hope, and friendship to others.